Hey guys, today I wanted to do a video for people that are interested in getting into motorcycling. I want to give them some information and let you guys know how to get started. For those of you that have never ridden a motorcycle, never ridden anything on two wheels, a moped or anything your whole life, first off, I recommend that you, I would probably actually recommend that you get a scooter. And you can get a cheap, inexpensive scooter, whatever. I don't know. You don't have to get a real fancy, expensive scooter. Get you a scooter to start out on. Get your temp license, obviously. You have to go to the DMV, take the written test, and then you'll get your temp license. And that'll allow you to legally ride on your scooter. However, with a temp license, you can't ride at night. So I just want to let you guys know that. You only want to ride during daylight hours. So get your temp license. Get a scooter or rent a scooter if you can. What this is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to get acclimated to riding on two wheels without having to worry about shifting. And it's going to help you get comfortable riding on the roads with traffic. First off, you probably want to start off on some long country roads without very little traffic, and then work your way into to riding in the city. And then once you've gotten acclimated and feel comfortable riding on the scooter in town. Now this is my opinion, by the way. I mean, you guys could do whatever you want to do. I know a lot of you guys you feel that you want to take a different route. That's fine. I'm just explaining to you how I went about it myself. I started on a scooter and I'm glad I did, because it helped me get acclimated to the roads on two wheels and not have to worry about shifting. Once you feel comfortable on two wheels, and I'd say I would recommend that you take the MSF class, even though I did not. The MSF class is good. It's an excellent class to help you learn. It's going to help you learn teach you how to ride a motorcycle, how to shift gears, how to maneuver the bike, how to, it's going to teach you everything about a motorcycle. So, and like I said, I didn't take an MSF class because I was being cheap and I wanted to teach myself. But if you guys can if you can drive a manual shift car, you can ride a motorcycle easy. It's the same principle, except for a motorcycle, the shifting pattern is in a linear pattern, up and down, as whereas a car is in a more, what I would say, maybe like a H pattern. But either way, you have to engage the clutch to shift the gears. And what I did is I bought a 2011 CBR 250R. That was my very first motorcycle. I was scared to death about shifting gears, but everybody told me, like, oh man, if you know how to drive a manual shift car, you'll have no problem at all. That's what the sales guy even told me. He said, man, you'll do it. You'll literally pick it up probably in minutes. So I bought the CBR 250R. I had him ride it home because, I was too chicken shit to try to learn how to ride it from the dealership to take it back home, because it was a good distance away from my house. So I paid him like $20 to ride it to my house. And the next day I jumped on my bike and I practiced in my driveway, and it literally took me 5 minutes to learn how to ride manual, to ride a motorcycle, manual shift. It was just like they said, it was the same principles like manual shifting in the car. And shit, like I said, 5 minutes, I was out on the roads cruising, no problem. Now, mind you, I did look at some videos on YouTube on how to shift on a motorcycle, and but yeah, it's not difficult. So for those of you guys that think, man, that you think it's going to be hard and it's going to suck shifting gears on a motorcycle, believe me, I said the same thing. Like, I was like, dude, I don't need to, I don't want to shift. I just want to crank the throttle, Believe me, once you learn how to shift on a motorcycle, it's fun. It's fun shifting gears. Believe me, you won't want to ride an automatic bike after you learn how to shift gears proficiently on the bike. It's fun. And then when you get into track riding, man, you'll really see how fun it is. But yeah, start out on the scooter, get acclimated to the roads, step up. Then if you take the MSF class, I would say you could skip the 250 and get a 600 if that's what you're looking for. As far as you want to get a super sport, that's your dream bike that you always want to get. Now I know I'm going to get flamed for this, for saying to get the bike that you want. Now don't go and get a leader bike. Now that's a fool. You definitely don't want to start out on a leader bike. But if you've taken the MSF class, you did very well in the class, you feel very comfortable on the motorcycle, there's no reason why you can't step up and get the 600 bike as your first bike. Because if you get a 250 out of the MSF class, especially if you buy it new, you're going to lose a lot of money. Now if you want to get a 250 and you don't want to lose much money, get a Ninja 250, like a 2008 or something. Get the newer body style. You don't want to be riding around in on the old bike, like there's nothing wrong with older bikes, man, but I don't know, they're kind of boxy. The old ones are kind of boxy and they just look dated. But if you get a 2000 or newer, 2008 newer Kawasaki Ninja 250, those bikes are very popular. They will sell fast. So if you buy it, learn how to ride on it. If you ride on it for a few months, and then when you feel comfortable on it, and then you're ready to step up to the next bike, you'll be able to throw it, sell it, put it on Craigslist, and you'll probably sell it fairly quickly. I would, even though I got a CBR 250R, and the reason I'm not recommending a CBR 250R is not because it's a bad bike or anything. The CBR 250R is an excellent bike. Believe me, it's a great commuter bike. It's a great bike to start out on, but they're not highly popular, at least around here. So it's going to be hard to sell. I had a difficult time trying to sell it. That's why I ended up trading it in at the dealer. And I was in a rush. I probably could have sold it if I waited out a little longer, but I was in a rush to get, step up to my dream bike, the CBR 600RR. So I just went ahead and traded it in. But had I had a Ninja 250, man, I would have probably sold it within a few days. But if you don't want to go through all that, you don't have to go through all that hassle of getting the 250 and then having to sell it, man. If you want to save yourself all that trouble, just go ahead and get the bike that you want. Get the 600. Now, what I would recommend, is you could go with a Gixxer, a Suzuki Gixxer, like a 2008 or a 2009. They have power modes on them. A, B, and C. And C restricts the power, I believe, to like 50%. I don't know, I may be wrong, but I know it greatly reduces the power. So that's going to be an excellent, that's a great bike to start on, because you can start on mode C and then work your way up to mode A. And once you get to mode A, you probably will never even use the power modes again, because it'll be completely, you're not going to want to ride at 50% power, ever again. Once you feel comfortable on the Power A mode. But get the you know, you don't even have to get that. You can go ahead and get the, if you want a CBR 600RR, go ahead and get the CBR 600RR. This bike is a very easy bike to ride on. Man, this, the clutch, honestly, in my opinion, this 2008 CBR 600RR that I have is easier to ride on than the CBR 250RR that I had. Not to say that the CBR 250R was hard to ride, but the shifting on this bike is so much more smoother on this bike than it was on the CBR 250R. And this bike feels so much smoother. It has the Honda electronic steering damper. It's built in. It's right underneath, right here, underneath the tank cover here. And what that does is it keeps the bike very stable at all speeds. And I tell you, this bike, it feels so smooth, man. That's one thing that I noticed when I got on this bike. Not only that it was very powerful compared to the CBR 250R, but also that it was so much more smoother and more stable at, especially at higher speeds. You know, on the highway, the wind hardly bothers you on the highway too. But by the way, you know, but also the bike rides a lot smoother. And so either get get whatever bike you want, but definitely don't get a leader bike. But yeah, you can start out on the 600. Just respect the throttle. That's all you got to do, man. Respect the throttle. You know, just be very sensitive with the throttle, and you'll be fine. You know, don't listen to a lot of people out there. They scare you with, oh, don't get the Super Sport, the 600, man, you'll fall on your ass, you know, you'll crash or something. That they make it seem as though these bikes are like, they try to intimidate, you know, like these bikes are very intimidating or something. These bikes are powerful, don't get me wrong, man. But if you have exercised some control and, like I said, are sensitive with the throttle, you'll be fine. It's not that big. These bikes are actually, this bike here is only 40 pounds heavier than the CBR 250R that I had. That's one reason why I like the CBR 600RR, is because it's light, it's powerful, it's comfortable, you know. But because I have the Two Brothers pipe on here, and that reduced stock, these bikes are like what, 410, 412 pounds wet. And with the Two Brothers pipe, that reduces the weight by a good 10 pounds or more. So this bike's only like 400 pounds. The 2011 CBR 250R that I had is, I think it was like 370 or something like that. Because I had the ABS on it. And so really it's only about 40 pounds heavier than the CBR 250R. And that's why I said when I first got on this bike, man, I was like, wow, this bike doesn't feel all that much different from the CBR 250R that I had. It feels narrow between my legs. It feels light up top. It's just, it feels comfortable. The seat is comfortable, you know. And actually, for those of you that want to know the difference between the different model years of the CBR 600RR, from 2007, they completely redesigned this bike. They lifted the handlebars up here 10 millimeters. It has a new motor, which is more powerful. The mid-range is more stout on the top end. They lifted put the ram air in the front of the bike. And so for those of you that are looking to get a CBR 600RR, you probably want to go with 2007 and newer if you can. I'm not saying that the older bikes are shit. I love all the CBR 600RRs, but believe me, you'll probably be a little bit happier on the 2007 and newer. And actually, the best model years for the CBR 600RR is 2007 and 2008. After 2008 and 2009, they actually reduced the top end due to emissions. I know, which sucks ass, you know. So if you can, get your 2007 or 2008. Now I know some of you guys will say, oh, top end doesn't mean much because you'll probably never hit those speeds. if you ever get on a track, man, believe me, you're gonna want to hit that top end. So, but yeah, like sorry, I kind of got off on a tangent here about the bikes, but yeah, getting back to for all the newbies out there. Like I said in the previous videos, make sure that you get your gear before you even get your bike, you know, or get it when you get your bike. But definitely, that's very important, is to make sure that you're riding in full gear. I mean, we're talking, wear the full gear, not just the helmet and a jacket. You know, you want to make sure you get the helmet, jacket, the motorcycle pants, the boots, the gloves. You want to get everything, because that's going to help save your skin. And it's good. So, but yeah, make sure you get your gear. Get the bike that you want out of the MSF class. If you don't take an MSF class, most definitely get a 250. Most definitely get a 250 if you're not going to take the MSF class. And once you learn on the 250, like I said, I recommend getting the Ninja 250 because they're highly popular and they're easy to resell. Stay on the 250 for at least a good 6 months or less. I mean, if you start to feel really comfortable after 3 or 4, after 5 months, I upgraded to the 600. But yeah, the 250. You know, I thought that maybe I could just roll with the 250, like that would be the only bike that I'd get, you know. But man, like everybody else says, you get tired of a 250 real quick. And it's not around town. Around town is beautiful. You know, I love riding a CBR 250R around town. It's just when you get on the highway, it sucks on the highway, man. Now they say the Ninja has more top end, so I don't know. Maybe you'll enjoy the Ninja better, but you're still going to want to move up. You know, the power, you get tired of the bike being slow. You know, you want that get up and go, like you get on the 600s and the bigger bikes. But yeah, once you feel comfortable, go ahead and step up to the 600 and. And also what you want to do, if you want to reduce, a lot of you guys I know are concerned about safety when you're riding a motorcycle. If you want to reduce your risk of falling on your motorcycle, running into any problems at all, stay away from cagers. Get on, I know that's easier said than done, but stay on, go ride on mostly country roads. That's what I do. I try go out ride in the country, and your local parks, wherever. It's gonna reduce your risk a lot. I mean, I'm not saying that it's completely safe, but it's gonna reduce your risk, because like the saying goes, you know, if you don't want to get bit by a dog, stay away from a dog. So if you don't want to get hit by a cager, stay away from a cager, you know. So yeah, ride out in the country, and I enjoy it. I don't like being around. It's irritating to me in stop and go traffic anyhow. You know, I know some of you guys commute on your bike, and you know, you have to be, you know, in the city in traffic and all, and that's, you know, you do what you have to do. You know, just try to be as safe as possible. But like I said, you're going to be a lot more safer for those you know, for those of you joy riders like me and don't commute on your bike. You're going to be a lot safer out in the country. It's going to be a more enjoyable experience, because you're not going to have that stop and go traffic, and you can just cruise and have a good time on your bike. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about now. As far as insurance, call all the different insurance companies before you get your bike and see which bike is. Some bikes are going to be more expensive to insure than others. You should know that. State Farm is an excellent insurance company. That's who I have on my bike, and they're actually cheaper than all the other insurance companies. I only pay $290 with a $250 deductible with full coverage for $290 a year for this CBR 600RR. So I know a lot of you guys think that super sport bikes are expensive to insure, and they can be, and especially if you're under the age of 25 and you live like in a warm state, you know, down south where you guys can ride year round. The reason it's a lot cheaper up here, like up north here in Ohio, because we can't ride year round. So you don't really have to pay, it's a lot cheaper. But if you're over the age of 25 too, like I said, and you have a clean record, it'll be a lot cheaper for you as well. But yeah, definitely make sure you get full coverage insurance. And also what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get some sort of roadside assistance. Now I know with Progressive Insurance, they offer roadside assistance, and I recommend stay away from Progressive Insurance. I had them and they suck. And I've had friends that have them and they've gotten dropped because they missed a payment by 1 day. And when I had them back in Florida when I owned a car, I still own a car, what am I saying? But back when I was in Florida and I had them on my car, I had a Honda Civic back in those days, and I got into a fender bender. Some lady pulled in front of me in I don't know, it was her fault. She crossed lanes and just stopped right in front of me, and I hit the back of her bumper or whatnot. Progressive would not even fix my car until they made sure that I was the driver in my car, and I was pissed off. They didn't start working on my car for like 2 weeks, and it took me a month to get my car back. So Progressive sucks, you know. And I've heard other people. One guy said somebody tipped his bike over in the parking lot, and he went to make a claim, and they dropped him after they paid out the claim. So Progressive can go suck ass. But State Farm, in my opinion, they're excellent. My family's had them for many years, and they're always great about paying out. They don't give you, they don't do any of that bullshit that Progressive does to try to save any money. But yeah, make sure you get full coverage. Make sure, like I said, make sure you get roadside assistance. You can go with AAA. What I did is I went with AAA RV coverage, and it was only like $50. And they will cover, I believe, they'll tow it anywhere within 100 miles. 100 miles or so. I may be wrong. I know it's much more than Progressive's roadside assistance. And so yeah, I recommend, unless you know a family member or somebody that has a pickup truck, that if you ever get stranded or anything, they can come pick you up. Otherwise, get roadside assistance. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions about how to get started in motorcycling, any other questions on getting started as far as gear or anything else, don't hesitate to send me a message, and I'll answer any questions you have. Alright, so until next time, folks, catch you guys.